This man killed 6 of his family members while dressed up as Santa Claus on Christmas morning before proceeding to unalive himself. Sorry it's been so long since I posted. I was shadow banned, so every time I was posting a video, it was just getting no views. So I was like, let me give it a couple weeks. Hopefully I'm not shadow banned anymore. But yeah, this story is very sad, and I wanted to share it. So Aziz Yazdan Pana, I'm probably not pronouncing his name right, like whatsoever, was a 56-year-old father living in Grapevine, Texas. He was a former real estate agent but had been unemployed for years, which led to a lot of financial instability and tension within the home. His wife, Nazrin, had to take 2 jobs to support them and their children. And they had 2 daughters, 19-year-old Nona and 15-year-old Allie. Aziz was very controlling, though. It led to a very oppressive atmosphere within the home. So in early 2011, Nazrin made the brave choice to leave her husband. She took their 2 daughters with them, and they moved just 2 miles away into an apartment and were just trying to start fresh. However, Aziz was struggling a lot to accept the fact that his wife had left him, and this led him to spiral. So on Christmas morning, Aziz arrived at Nazrin's apartment uninvited, dressed as Santa Claus. And despite how uneasy Nazrin was feeling, she did let him in, probably for the sake of her children, just so they didn't have to witness their parents fighting. However, what followed was unthinkable. Minutes after entering the home, Aziz pulled out 2 handguns and opened fire on his family. He killed his wife, Nazrin, his 2 daughters, his sister-in-law, her husband, and their 22-year-old daughter. Aziz then turned the gun on himself and unalived himself. When police arrived after a 911 call from the home, they found a terrifying scene. 7 bodies surrounded by unwrapped Christmas presents. So I forgot to mention their names, but his sister-in-law was named Zora. I'm definitely not pronouncing that right. And then her husband was named Hosine. So when police got there, they found the 7 bodies and later determined that Aziz had staged the scene and attempted to frame Hosine by placing a gun in his hand. So, which was very interesting because he already had passed away at that point. It's just interesting that he placed one of the handguns in his ex-brother-in-law's hand and then unalived himself, because there's really no reason, because he's dead. So it's not like he needs to try to make it seem like he didn't do it so he wouldn't go to jail or protect his reputation for his daughters, since he unfortunately unalived them. But anyways, a question remains on why he committed such a violent act. Investigators believe his actions were probably driven by jealousy, anger, and just control. He couldn't bear the fact that his family had moved on without him and that they were starting a new life without him. It was like one of those things where it was like, if I can't have you, no one can. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It's a very sad case. I wanted to share it around Christmas time, but I was shadow banned, but I still wanted to share it regardless. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.